one. Alright, well, we're back. Villains we're gonna have to redo. That's unfortunate because we were having a heated debate, and now we will hope the heroes one goes a lot better. So, your opinion of the heroes tribe, my opinion, I think this is a bigger group of all-stars. Oh, and that's Kearney, by the way. Hi. Alright, so, yeah, we'll talk about all five of the heroes, and yeah, they're bigger all-star groups. So what do you think of them?
Well, actually, let's start with Lee.
Ooh.
Lee made it pretty far, but she was being a little bit stubborn and not changing her vote.
When
Which
Demira told her to,
well, that was really her downfall in the past season,
she voted
or the
herself
first
out.
season, I think it was.
Second season.
Second season. Okay.
She should have voted Tyler out and made a move.
But I mean, if she she does, she's not like a very threatening player per se, but she actually is like good at the game. She just needs to make sure she's thinking really clearly about all of her strategical decisions before she makes them.
JJ, you listen here. Thank you, dear. Sorry, I was just doing the Lee voice. Oh God, yeah, Lee is hilarious. She is a character. I like her more as a character than a player. Think she, I think, I know she loves the game almost as much as I do. I just have to see it a little bit more when she makes a move. If she does what she did last season and plays the Sandra game of as long as it ain't me, from Heroes versus Villains, nobody's gonna see her as a threat. Problem is, her tribe is to win. The Villains tribe is so successful at the beginning that Sandra, by the time the Villains finally went to Tribal Council, Sandra was no longer going to be targeted because they were targeting all the bigger threats at that point instead of the weaker players. So Lee can do that, but then she has to make a move at 4 or 5. I think Lee is going. I think she is so much of a wild card, and to be honest, in my game, I would not trust her because I feel like she is gonna flip flop for some reason. Like you don't know where she stands. So I'm gonna put Lee at fourth. I think she's gonna slink through again, but I don't. I think it's by the time she gets to the final four, she's not gonna have made any moves, and I don't think she's gonna win.
As long as Lee remains obscure in the beginning and makes some big moves later, she could win. But if trend follows the previous season, then Lee's probably gonna end up around where Jacob was saying.
Yeah. All right, my boy Kearney Shine, second place, the cameraman of season 2. He worked so hard last season. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That was a lot of fun, and I've done other podcasts with him. I'm gonna actually put those up. He was telling me to put old ones up from last season that he and I did, and it's been a lot of fun these past 2 years hanging out with you, man. Uh, I'm picking him as my winner pick. Kearney is a super loyal player, someone I would definitely align with right off the bat, and he's not super physically threatening. He's pretty good at puzzles. He's pretty fast runner, so I think he'll do well. He's not going to be a threat, and he's gonna be loyal to you. And I know he has a friendship with Connor that I think is going to take him far. I'm going to give Kearney first place, and I think he's going to beat Connor Ali and win the game. And I think the path he needs to take, you know, I guess just take some weaker players and get an alliance together of like 4 or 5 people that'll take out a bunch of the bigger players at that point. But we'll see what happens.
I haven't actually had the chance to see Kearney play much, so I don't have much that I can say about Kearney. Based on what Jacob said, though, he does seem to be a pretty strong player, and I think he'll go pretty far in the game. He'll definitely make top 5. So,
Top 5, baby.
Beyond that, I can't say much.
All right, all right. So let's see. Next person, your pick, Silas.
Yeah, Silas is my favorite to win. He's a very physically fit player, and he's shown that he's good at the intellectual challenges as well. There's certainly going to be a lot of competition, though.
Lumberjack. All I can say, he looks like Rupert with the beard, and he's a effing badass, as Kearney puts it. Silas is a definite favorite of mine as well, just by his looks, and just he's built for this game, like the challenges and everything, and he's smart as well. So it's gonna be fun to watch Silas play again. And again, he's gonna be on the same tribes as his sister. Yeah, Silas and Lee are brother and sister, by the way. So it's gonna be interesting to see that relationship again, and if they'll target each other or work together. And I think it's going to be targeting each other, which is going to be really, really funny to see a sibling rivalry again. I'm really excited to see this happen and play out. But I'm going to give Silas, I'm going to give him 7th or 8th, unfortunately, because I think he's going to be one of the bigger targets. I'm going to say 7th.
Uh, uh, Also on the hero stripe, we had Samir.
The likable, good friend of mine, huge MSU fan, go green, and he's awesome. I love Samir, and if he makes it to the end, he's a shoo-in to win with the jury because everyone will vote for him because he's Samir, the meerkat. You know, everybody likes him. So yeah, I think, but I think people are just they're not gonna let Samir uh, win. I don't get far, I don't think. And but I think Samir may actually slink to 3rd place. But I'm not so. He may win the final challenge, but I feel like he's definitely not gonna. I think Kearney's going to win the final challenge, and I think he's gonna vote out Samir because Samir. If you take Samir, you're screwed.
Uh, yeah, if like any player that would be a sure pick to win in the jury is probably going to get voted out sooner rather than later just to prevent that possibility from happening. But if you have a strong social game, then you can work your way out of those tough situations and get far. So Samir's probably going to end up, I don't know necessarily if he's going to win because he's going to be hard to beat in jury, but he's going to definitely make it up there. 4th, maybe somewhere between like 3rd and 6th, I'd say probably.
Yeah, I would say he could also end up in like 5th or 6th as well because people will see him as a threat exit eventually. But I don't think he's going out pre-merge. I think he's making the merge, absolutely. All right, and then we have 2 more. No, 1 more. We only have Grant left. Grant, I'm gonna call him Captain America. Definitely, he's social, he's likable, he's like Caleb, but less manipulative, and I feel like he's going to step into the leadership role, and if they merge it like 8 or something, that's a possibility. I think Grant could be the biggest target, and if he doesn't win the first individual immunity, I think he's getting 8th place. I think he's out right at the merge because he's going to be a huge target, and I think Kearney and Lee or like Silas even, I think they might actually turn on him, and he's not going to see it coming, I don't think.
Like Samir and other people on the Heroes Tribe, social game is a good thing to have, but it can always be a downfall. So I guess like making alliances in the beginning, if that happens, then yeah, he could go really far. I'd say I don't know if I'd say all the way down in 8th place, but middle to lower half.
And again, to clarify, I like Grant, and he was a player I thought was robbed. It was given an exit way too early, and I think he deserves a second chance. I'd be 100% fine if Grant won the game. But again, like almost all these players can win the game in some sort of scenario. That's the awesome thing about this All-Star season, and it's just gonna be amazing to.
That's also the hard part about this season too, is everyone knows what the other players' strengths are. So players who've done really well in the past have a lot harder of a thing to overcome as they're coming into the season because they could get voted out early.
Yeah, and someone like Mitch could somehow get to the end. We'll see if it happens. Yeah, I am. So let's do a little bit more predicting. So we said your winner pick is Silas, mine is Kearney. And just to clarify, who are the final 4 going to be? I'm going to say my final 4, I might change it up a little bit from what I said. I think the final 4 is going to be Kearney, Connor, I'm going to say Tyler, and I'm going to say Lee.
Final 4, that's pretty tough. I think that some of the players who we haven't seen do well in the past are going to make it really far. Silas is my favorite twin, so I'm going to have to put him in the Final 4. I'm actually going to say Mitch because no one knows how he's going to play. I'd say maybe Lee, yeah. Lee and Silas I could see having a strong alliance from the very beginning. They could also turn on each other being siblings, but who knows? And then the fourth, I'd say maybe Ben.
Ooh, that's an interesting final four. I like it when I like that you ended up picking way different than I did. That's good. All right, and our prediction for first boot. I'm gonna say Mitch.
First boot, I don't actually have a prediction. There are just so many variables in play. Someone who's a really strong player could get voted out first. Someone who's been voted out first before, like Mitch, could get voted out first again.
Francesca.
But we'll see.
All right, thank you. We'll upload the villains one again. Had some trouble with that. Hopefully this uploads. If not, then I'm going to wreck my entire dorm room.
Except my stuff.
My entire side. All right, thank you.